Well, guys, I know I didn't give much. Guys, I know I didn't give much. Guys, I know I didn't give much. I dropped the cord here. Let me get that fixed. I had to plug in my phone so I could see the chat because it doesn't have much of a charge on it, and I wanted to be able to see the chat. So hi Slim Twiggy, I was wondering, I did this at the last minute. I wasn't planning on doing a live this evening, but I kind of had to, since I did a 2-hour video this morning working out in the yard, or midday, early this morning, and it was recording as usual. And I was trying out the mic that Bloomin had sent me. And I had already tested it, so I know it worked. Well, I plugged it all in, got the video going, and I'm walking all around the yard doing my yard work and everything. And it showed that I recorded almost 2 hours of video. But when I came in the house and I turned the video off or ended the video like I always do, and I went in to view the video to make sure the mic had picked up the sound, there was nothing there. I don't know what it did to my video. But it's not in my files. It's not on my phone anywhere that I can find it. Yeah, it's like I told Bloomin, I said, I don't know where it went. It showed I recorded it. It showed the length of time I recorded it. I had to hit the button to turn it off to end the video. But yet, the video's not here. I mean, I can't find it on the phone anywhere. It's not in the files. It's not in my favorites. I don't know. I said, well, that is the strangest thing that ever happened, because it's like it saved it into cyberspace or somewhere. I'm sure it saved it somewhere, but I don't know where. So, and I've been sitting here trying to eat a bite before my video, and I've been running out of time for everything. Yeah, I was wondering, I said, well, I wasn't logged into YouTube to record it through YouTube, so, you know, I was just recording it on my cell phone, on my camera, but I don't know where it saved it. I have no idea what it did with it. Well, hi Mardell, how are you? Okay, that'll be fine. I know. Well, you know what? I didn't plan on getting out in the yard today. Excuse me. You can tell I've been in the yard working because now I'm coughing. My allergies. But yeah, I didn't plan on going in the yard to do any work. But I checked the forecast and it showed that the high today was only going to hit 95. And I thought it was supposed to be 102. And I noticed it was overcast. And I said, oh my God, what a perfect day to get out there and do my transplants and do some other few things I need to do. So I was out there doing that, and I was recording the whole thing on my phone. And I was trying out the new microphone that Bloomin had sent me because I knew it worked. I'd already tested it. And like I was telling Bloomin, it showed that I recorded about 1 hour and 48 minutes of video when I turned it off. But when I went back into check it, where you know all your pictures and your videos and everything is stored, when I went back in there to check it to make sure that the microphone did pick up my voice, it was not there. It was gone. I don't know where it went. I told Slim Twiggy it must have saved it into cyberspace or somewhere, because I can't find it on my phone anywhere. So that was almost 2 hours lost of my video, and I don't know where it went. So I decided to come in and just do a live to try to make up for the video that I lost, because I doubt I'm ever going to find it anywhere. I know I didn't save it to a cloud storage because I'm not subscribed to any cloud storage on my phone to save my videos or pictures. So I don't know where it is. Let's see, we got KB. Hello, KB. Teresa, she's joined us. And we already had Slim Twiggy and Mardell. So maybe I won't do too bad. We had a good time on Slim Twiggy's live this morning. It was right after that, Slim Twiggy, that I went out and started doing my stuff in the yard. And I started videoing my video that I was going to post. But like I said, I don't know where it went. I mean, it kept recording, and it didn't stop until I physically hit the button to stop it, because it showed the time was still rolling up. But I have no idea where the video went. I'm looking at chat on my cell phone because I didn't bring my laptop in here. I see we got Teresa with us. Hi, Teresa. How are you? Yeah, I figure when I least expected, that video is going to show up somewhere. I don't know where, but I mean, it's the craziest thing I've ever done. I'm out there recording, and I kept checking the camera to make sure the thing was still running, because I have had my camera cut off with me before. And so I was checking it every once in a while just to make sure that it was still recording. And it was. It recorded the whole time. It didn't stop until I physically turned it off. So where did my video go? Yeah, I already had fixed some potato salad yesterday with my new potatoes that I dug. And I just fried me a hamburger steak a few minutes ago, and that's what I'm eating. Because this is my late lunch and early supper, I guess, or early dinner. I know, I love potato salad. I don't fix it very often, but I do love it. Yeah, I was eating my breakfast when I was on Slim Twiggy's live this morning. I had fixed a sausage biscuit with egg on it. Kind of like they do at McDonald's, but this was homemade. That was my breakfast with my coffee this morning, while I was laughing at everybody on Slim Twiggy's live this morning. Yeah, I decided I was going to take some of those pepper plants and my basil and my tomatoes that I had sprouted and my patty pan squash, and I was going to go ahead and transplant them, because we got, like, right now is like 46% chance of rain tomorrow, with the temperatures only 95. So I said, well, this is going to be the perfect day to transplant them, get them where they need to be while it's cooler, go ahead and water them down, and then hope to God it rains tomorrow, because if it does, that'll help those new transplants tremendously. So that was the reason I went ahead and did it. But I did video it. And I guess y'all will see the video if I can ever find it, because I sure don't know where it went. I've never had it to do that before. Teresa said she's organizing her closet, went through it yesterday, throwing out biggest clothes, loving my new way of eating, lost 30 pounds in 8 weeks. Well, congratulations to you, Teresa. I need to lose some weight. I could too, Mardell. I could eat potato salad every day of the got the hiccups every day of the week. What kind of diet were you on, Teresa? Now I got the hiccups. I chatted with Bloomin' just before I posted my live. She's not feeling good today, so she said she probably wouldn't make it. That's why she didn't make the concert last night. She wasn't feeling good. Yeah, I wanted the the all meat diet. Is there a special way you have to cook the meat? Or can you just fix it any way and just as long as you eat meat? Well, now you know your body needs the carbs and it needs the vegetables as well. I don't know if I could eat slowly meat as a diet. I would be so constipated. Oh my God, I can't imagine. But can you eat the meat anyway? Is there a certain way that you have to prepare the meat? Oh, for the first month you use only salt. Yeah, I like boiled chicken. I like baked chicken. On the diet that I was on years ago, you could eat meat, vegetables. You just couldn't use any seasoning. You couldn't use salt. And all your all your meat and vegetables had to be baked, broiled, or grilled with no seasoning. And I got used to eating that way, and I lost a lot of weight. I'm sorry. I've been messing in the yard, like I said, trying to do that video for a couple of hours, and now I'm coughing because I've been breathing in all the pollen out there. Oh, then you can add garlic powder or onion or other spices one at a time to figure out what causes inflammation in your body. Everyone is different. Huh. Well, salt, when you eat it, not only can raise blood pressure and cholesterol, but it can, a lot of people retain water from salt. That's why a lot of people use salt, especially people that work outside all the time. They eat a lot of salty food because it helps replenish the water in their system that they normally sweat out, working in the heat all day. I use a little salt. There was a long time there that I used absolutely no salt at all. But now I'm using just a little bit of the sea salt, but not much. Because I've got my cholesterol down, got my blood pressure down, so I don't have to take anything. So I don't want to run the risk of it going back up. But Teresa, I'm just curious. Did you ever get constipated being on that carnivore diet? I can't even pronounce it. I eat hamburger patties or steak, but can't eat bacon or any. Well, I heard one of the girls that I knew was on that keto diet, and she said you could eat bacon all day long. So are you saying you can eat bacon on this carnivore diet? Eggs and butter and dairy are allowed too. Well, I might try that one. But I got too many vegetables. I mean, I don't have too many vegetables. Every once in a while I harvest vegetables out of the garden, and I'd feel guilty if I didn't at least eat them after growing them. I don't know. That's the only reason I'd be afraid to try that carnivore. I can't say it. Diet, because I'd be afraid I'd be so constipated I'd be taking X-Lax or something constantly. Yeah. You cut out dairy because you were losing. Yeah, that might be one of my downfalls, is because I love cheese and butter and all, a lot of the dairy products. So basically what you cannot eat is the breads and the vegetables, probably any kind of grain type food. And I know I'm allergic to so much stuff, and I'm probably allergic to somewhat to like oatmeal and all kind of different grains, but I eat oatmeal anyway. And that's probably been my downfall. Yeah, that's exactly why, because they sweat so much outside. They lose so much of their water in their body working outside in the heat. That's why they always tell you to drink plenty of water when you're outside, but you also need to take salt, because the salt helps your body retain the water. I know my ex-father-in-law, he worked outside every day, and my ex-husband did too. This was my first husband years ago. They worked out in the heat all summer long, every day. And he literally took some type of a salt pill to help, replenish his body with the water. Yeah, I don't see any of my moderators in here. I know Gladys is a moderator, but I don't see her. She might be busy or shopping, who knows. I don't think I have to worry about it. I don't think anybody that's in my chat I'm going to need to worry about for right now. Anyway. And see, that's what's hard for me, is I love bread. I love all the dairy products. I just love food, y'all. So it's hard for me to cut out any of it. I think that's one reason I did so well on the Mayo Clinic diet, where you could eat all the meat you wanted, you could eat all the vegetables you wanted. But you couldn't eat the dairy. You couldn't eat the butter or the cheese or the spices or the salt or sugar. You couldn't have any of that. But you could have any type of meat, any of the vegetables, as long as they were baked, broiled, or grilled out. And you don't add anything to it. And it was kind of hard the first month getting into it. But then after I saw that I started losing weight, that was encouragement. So I stuck with it. And I was not real big. I'm not even as big then as I am now. I only weighed, I think, about 125 pounds. And I lost those 25 pounds. I got down to 199 exactly. And everybody was telling me, oh, you need to gain weight. You look like you're starving. But I felt great. I was eating anything I wanted. Any meat. I was eating fish. I was eating vegetables, potatoes. They were just baked, boiled, broiled, or grilled out. And I think the worst thing I ever did in my life was going off of that diet. I was listening to everybody else. They were telling me I needed to gain weight. So I forced myself to start eating all the food again. The sugars and all that other stuff. And of course, when you do that, you gain the weight back. And that was the worst thing I could have done, because I gained that weight back plus more. But maybe one of these days I'll get brave and I'll venture back on that diet. I don't know. Or I might try that carnivore diet, if I can pronounce it correctly. Yeah, I love fish. And I have a grocery here close by, Brookshire's, and in their little deli section, you can go there any day and get as many pieces of fried filleted catfish as you want, already cooked, steaming hot, and it's so good. Oh my God. Once in a while, like about once every 2 months, I'll decide I've got to have some fish, and I'll go in there and get me 2 or 3 slices of it, you know, the fillets, and that's my dinner or my lunch. But I love it. And we've got seafood restaurants out here. They serve the fresh catfish fillets fried, and they're real good too. But there, you know, you get all the potatoes, you get the coleslaw, you get the salad with it. And I just don't like to get all that because I don't want to eat all that at one time. So if I go to the grocery store, I can just pick up a couple of fillets of fish and bring them home and eat them. Yeah, sugar is carbs. Mm-hmm. Well, I was married at the time to my last husband, ex-husband. At the time, I went on that Mayo Clinic diet, and I lost 25 pounds. Well, he kept telling me I was fat. I was fat. I was fat. Honey, at 125 pounds, 5'2", I was not fat. I mean, I had meat on my bones, but you're not fat if you're only weighing 120 or 125 pounds. And when I started losing weight, you know, I was cooking the meals for everybody else, my daughter, my son, and my husband, just like a normal. But then I was sitting down to my meal, which I might have been eating the same thing they were, but my chicken wasn't fried. It was boiled. My vegetables were boiled where I fixed theirs like I normally did. And he'd fuss about that. He couldn't believe it because I lost all that weight. He said, anybody that loses weight like that's on drugs. I was not on drugs. I did not take drugs to lose that weight. But, you know, that just shows you can't please your husband sometimes. Now my ex-husband, and that's one reason he is my ex-husband, there's no pleasing him. Before I lost the weight, I was fat. When I did lose the weight, I was on drugs. So, you know, you can't win for losing. So I gave up trying. I said, the heck with it. Yeah, on the Mayo Clinic diet that I was on, you could not have any sugar. But you could eat the carbs. You could eat the potatoes. You could even eat sweet potatoes, as long as they were baked and you didn't add butter or anything to them. There's a B, and E challenge in the I'm considering doing that's eating nothing but beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. Well, I could do that, but you'd get awfully tired of beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. But I could definitely do it. But are they actually losing weight on that? Beef butter? I've never heard of beef butter. What is beef butter? That's a new one on me. I've never heard of beef butter before. Well, that's what I thought she said, beef, butter, and bacon and eggs. But she came back and said, no, beef butter. I don't know. Well, what you do? You, like cook your, I guess you could cook your beef in butter. Instead of using the oil, you could like cook it in a pan with butter. I mean, I love beef, I love butter, and I love bacon, so that, I don't know. I'd probably feel guilty because I've got so many other foods in the house just to strictly stick with beef, butter, and eggs. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, and you know, people, they always tell you that bacon grease is so bad, but you're allowed to eat the bacon. So the bacon grease can't be that bad. Or grill it, yeah. Yeah, I could see doing that. I mean, you could put butter on that beef and grill it. And I think it would turn out pretty good even without seasoning on it. I'm sorry, I can't look up at the camera and read this. I need to get a bigger screen, an iPad or something, so I can put it up where the camera is so I can look up at people when I'm talking to them instead of having to turn my head all the time and read it off of here. But I've heard one other person that they were on that carnivore diet. And I think that was Jess from Roots and Refuge. And she's lost a ton of weight. But I can't imagine. But she's got all the kids and her husband to feed. So they eat up all the vegetables and everything else that she can't eat. So she doesn't feel as guilty about having it in the house and not eating it like I do. You know, I've got a lot of stuff here that would not be on a strictly meat diet. But I might give it a try and see what happens. Because I definitely do need to lose some weight. And like I said, I've got a lot of allergies. And I've even got food allergies. But I'd have to eat something for 3 days straight to have enough of the whatever I'm allergic to in my system for it to really start affecting me. So I basically eat what I want. I just don't eat it for days in a row. But I'm sure it still has contributed to weight gain with me, having allergies to the food and stuff you eat. You watch Jess on Roots and Refuge too? Yeah, I love watching their show. Oh, Linda Franz is here. Welcome. We're talking about losing weight and my video going into cyberspace because I don't know what happened to my video I recorded this morning. How can a video show that it's recording on your phone and it continues to record until you push the button to turn it off, but then you can't find the video anywhere? I don't know. Has that ever happened to anybody that's watching? Do you have any suggestions of where the video could have went to? Because that happened to me this morning. I couldn't post my video because I can't find it now. Yeah, it's been cloudy here. That's the reason I got out and I did some work in the yard, is because we've been expecting rain, and tomorrow especially, and the high was only 95. So I got out there for 2 hours running around the yard transplanting seedlings and one thing another, and videoing the whole thing to where I'd have a video to post today. Turn the camera off and then come in the house, tried to find my video, and it's not there. I don't know what happened to it. Yeah, that happened to one of my test tries. I didn't have any sound, and I had to go in my settings and find the sound settings and change some settings in there, and then I got my sound back. But I don't know what happened to the video. I mean, I videoed with it yesterday and posted my video. It was late when I got it posted, but I finally did get it posted. And I didn't do anything different except hook the microphone to it today. But I had already tested the microphone out and it worked fine. So I don't know. I didn't do anything different except plug the microphone in, start the video, and that was it. So I don't know. I don't know how it could record a video like that and then it just disappeared. See, that's just it. I did a practice run. I've done a practice run with it. It worked fine. It played back the video, the sound. Today, I don't know. Yeah, I had like 80 gigs on my phone of storage left available. So I had plenty of storage for it. So I don't know what the deal was. Yeah, I don't keep videos and pictures and that kind of stuff on my phone because I want to keep all the storage open. So I've got plenty to, do my videos on. If I have, because usually I just take my thumbnails or I do my videos on my phone camera and then I upload them to YouTube and then I delete it out on my phone. I don't keep them on there. Because I know at any time I can go to YouTube and I can download a copy of it if I want it, to use for anything else. So I don't have to save it on my phone. Yeah, so I don't know what the deal is. And I've got my new phone in my hand and I've got my old phone up there that I'm videoing on, and I wanted to see if it buffered any. So far, I don't think it has. Have y'all noticed that it's buffered any? I don't think it's disconnected at all. I've not tried doing a live from the yard yet. I should not have any problem with it. But they put in a new modem yesterday. They brought a new modem and switched out the one that was in there. Good. And the next time I may try the new phone and see, because it was the new phone I think that it's been buffering on. So that way it'll tell me whether it was the modem, the internet, or if it's this phone. And if that's the case, I can do all my lives from my old one, my old camera, and not even fool with this one, except for just, doing my videos that I upload. No buffering here. Well, that's good to know that it's not buffering. So maybe the problem was taken care of by him switching out the modem. But it seemed like I remember a couple of years ago when I had that problem, they switched out the modem. It didn't help at all. I'd still lose connection to the internet when I was watching a movie or anything on my TV. Or I could be on my laptop and I'd lose connection, have to reconnect. So I don't know. This new technical world is wonderful, but there's so many little glitches to it. Sometimes you don't know whether you're going or coming with it a lot of times. But that's interesting. You can eat all the beef, bacon, and butter you want on the carnivore diet. But is it just beef? You can't eat like pork chops or fish or any other type of meat on that diet? Is it just strictly beef? Oh, okay, you're in Ranger. It's not, Ranger's not too far away. I went to Ranger one time, but right now I couldn't tell you what direction it was in because I went with a friend that used to live there, and I don't even remember why he wanted to go, but a bunch of us drove down there with him one day. And I remember it was Ranger we went to. That's where we went. Yes, any red meat. But then pork is not red meat, and fish is not red meat. So it would have to be just strictly beef. Claire Quinn, hello. Didn't realize you had popped in. Glad to have you show up in my chat today since it was a spur of the moment thing. Any and all red meat is allowed, just can't add veggies. Don't know what I'll do with my veggies. Of course, I haven't been getting a whole lot of veggies lately. It's been too hot. It just stunted the plants. But since the temperatures have dropped to like 95, I hope it'll stay that way for a while. And we'll get some rain, and maybe it'll help revive my garden. Teresa says I eat venison and pork, sausage sometimes, and salmon too. So you added that to your diet? It's meat. Yeah, it's meat. I mean, if you could eat beef, it looks like you could eat pork, venison, any meat item. I could see where they might not want you to eat a sausage, maybe, but because that's got spices and stuff in it. But if it's just a fresh cut of meat of any kind, it looks like it would be okay. I've got to grab a bottle of water out of my refrigerator. I have drank all my lemonade. And since I did so much sweating out there in the garden, I am hot, thirsty. But I'm curious, on that carnivore diet, can you drink? Are you allowed to drink anything but water? Yeah, my blood work has been fantastic the last several years. My blood pressure went up at one time, but I think it was from allergies. Because I know that my body was fighting so many allergies here in Texas, I think it shot my blood pressure up. Because I noticed when my blood pressure would be down, it was at the times that my allergies were not bothering me very much at all. And my doctor didn't believe it. I said, well, I've noticed that my blood pressure's down to normal when I'm not fighting allergies. If I'm fighting allergies, it shoots up sky high. And he wanted to give me blood pressure medicine, and he did, but the same thing happened. If I was fighting allergies, my blood pressure went up. The pill didn't help. Yeah, I've gained a lot of weight, and I probably got fatty liver and fat around my heart and everything else that I need to get rid of. And I still only wear like a size 12, 10s in some things. Yeah, you did good, Teresa, losing that weight. How long have you been on your diet? How long did it, I don't remember how long you said it took you to lose that. You might have said how long it took. I don't know, but I don't remember. Coffee or water, or I also drink bubbly water, is unsweetened flavored carbonated water. So you drink coffee, you just don't add creamer or sugar or anything to it. And you know, I used to do that. Years ago when I was married to my first husband, I was skinny as a rail. And I always drank black coffee. And I ate basically a normal diet, but I just didn't eat a lot. You know, I kept my portions down. But I tell you, as I got older and moved out here to Texas, my portions have increased. So I really need to cut back on that too. Teresa says, I've been eating keto for 4 years. 8 weeks of carnivore. Well, which one worked the best, the carnivore diet or the keto diet? Because it sounds to me like you did really good on the carnivore diet. I was wondering which of the diets that you did the best on, the carnivore diet or the keto diet. Which one did you lose the most weight on? Keto. I pronounce everything wrong. Keto. I even bought some of the keto pills. I was going to start that diet. I think I've still got some of them somewhere. I don't know what I did with them. But I bought like a 3-month supply of them because I was going to go on that keto diet. But I tried to start it 1 week and I gave up and said the heck with this. Yeah, I'm sure you mentioned back in the comments how much weight you lost on your carnivore diet in 8 weeks, and I don't remember. So I was just, wondering. It sounds like your carnivore diet worked probably better than the keto diet did. Got black clouds, Slim Twiggy. I wish you'd send them here. We need some black clouds with rain here. Yeah, I was not a big person to begin with. And when I lost down to 99 pounds, a size 1 was too big for me. And it was so hard to find clothes. I'd end up having to go to the little girls department or the teen sizes to get anything to fit. Get, like pants, shorts, stuff like that. Let's hope it doesn't get scary for you. Maybe it'll just bring you some rain and let, the bad stuff go around. I lost 75 pounds from the heaviest point ever in my first 6 months of keto. Then a hysterectomy and stayed on keto, but never lost any more. But I also took Aussie pick for the first, I don't know what that is, months. Yeah, we'll cross our fingers and say a little prayer that Slim Twiggy will be safe with her black clouds rolling toward her. Maybe it won't get rough. Maybe it just looks like it's going to get rough. Maybe it'll just bring you a good rain cloud. You think you need some coffee to calm your nerves? Well, go get you a cup of coffee, Slim Twiggy. I'm enjoying my water because, like I said, I lost so much liquid out there working in the yard earlier trying to get that video done that I just wet my clothes. I had to change when I came in and cool off. Well, see, the thing about me, Mardell, I have a small bone structure. So even at 99 pounds, I was real skinny, thin, but I wasn't really bony. He doesn't eat. I wonder why he doesn't eat. Does he take vitamins? Maybe you need to give him a handful of vitamins. They always say that vitamins give you an appetite. And they'll help you eat. So maybe he needs some vitamins. I remember one time Mom was giving us all of us kids vitamins, and my dad caught it one day because I don't guess he ever paid attention that Mom still gave us vitamins, after we left our infant stage. He said, "Why in the world are you giving them vitamins for? They'll eat me out of house and home. I can't afford to feed them now." I thought that was funny. But yeah, vitamins will help build your appetite, and you'll want to eat. So maybe he just needs to take some vitamins. Give him some type of a 1-a-day vitamin. He's too picky, doesn't like anything but French fries and chicken tenders. Well, hey, they say if you eat enough of anything, you can gain weight. Oh, Wilkes County boy made it. Hello, how are you? I was watching your earlier video. One popped up, showed that you had just posted it or something, so I went over there and watched it. Yeah, I'm still totally baffled with that video that I was doing this morning. Because I just kept checking the camera, making sure the camera was still recording, that it didn't cut off with me. It was still recording, it was showing the time. You know how it rolls up and it tells you the time on the video and everything. But then when I stopped the video, ended it, the video just disappeared. He was helping a friend earlier today. Well, I watched the beginning of your chicken video yesterday where you put your chicken legs in the crock pot, and then I watched the second part of it today where you took them out and I think you put them in a pan and maybe put them in the oven for a little bit or something. I'd never seen hot wings fixed that way. No, my camera don't really get hot. So I just don't know. It's got me stumped. I mean, I've been videoing for quite a few months now. Never had that happen before. Oh, Texas Nana's here. Hello, Texas Nana. Oh, goodness. Well, we'll be saying a prayer for you, Teresa, that everything's okay with all that. Just making coffee. Hi, Texas Nana. I'm glad you can make it. I said, well, I got to do something to make up for the video that disappeared. I won't have anything to post for today. But I hate that. I mean, I wanted to show everybody what I was doing out there as far as transplanting those plants in the Greenstalk Tower, how I took the tower apart, kind of freshened up the dirt some, and what else I needed to do to it that I didn't do, and put it back together, but I just don't know what happened to the video. It's disappeared. Yeah, it seems so good today for it not to be over 100 degrees, I tell you. This is the first day we've had below 100 in weeks. Yeah, I was doing something and I missed part of it, but I knew from what I was seeing that you did put them in a pan and broiled them for a bit. You know, a friend of mine had a big square cooker, a big one. It was about the size of a good size, maybe an 18-gallon cooler or something, but it was one of those electric cookers. And he would get a whole bunch of chicken wings to throw in there. He could fill it half full of chicken wings. But he would batter those wings, season them, put his seasoning on them, throw them in that pan or that cooker, turn them on, and just leave them. I think he slowed cook them for several hours. And when he got through with those things, they were not wet. I mean, it's hard to explain it. They were coated hot wings, you know, with the seasoning and the flour or the meal or whatever they coat them with. And I don't see how they turned out that way in that slow cooker. I just don't understand it myself, but they did, and they were really good. He had gotten, there was some kind of contamination in the nuclear power plant that everybody came out here to work on. Well, he was working there, and he was contaminated by whatever chemical it was that they warned people about later. They didn't know at the time that it was happening. But later, some of the workers started having health problems, and they found out it stemmed from being contaminated with whatever chemical it was at the plant. And he got a real bad, it like heightened whatever allergies he had. He could not eat bread that you buy from the store. He could not buy chicken eggs or meat or anything from the store. So he started raising his own chickens, so he knew what they were fed. And he would get his eggs from the chicken house, and that's the eggs he would eat. He grew his own vegetables because there was certain stuff that he couldn't put to the garden or he wouldn't be able to eat it. But he said he didn't even know he was contaminated till he went out to a restaurant one night with his wife. And I don't even remember what he ate, but he said he never had a reaction to that food before. But all of a sudden, he said he didn't really feel anything, but his face kind of felt funny. Of course, he couldn't see it sitting in the restaurant. But his wife looked up at him and she says, "Oh my God, what is wrong?" When she looked at it, she was horrified. His whole face puffed up. I mean, it was swollen. It looked like a balloon. It's a wonder he could even see through his eyelids. His face was swollen so bad. And that's what he was feeling, you know, his face puffed up. And when he went in to be checked for what that was, through all the testing, they found out that it was something that he was contaminated with from the nuclear power plant. And I guess he still deals with it today, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, there was a lot of things he couldn't eat anymore because he'd have a reaction like that. I don't know how long it will last. I mean, he has since moved on to another location, you know, a job location, and I've lost contact with him, so I don't know. Yeah, could you imagine going out to eat in a restaurant and you're eating your favorite food, you know, and all of a sudden your face feels funny and you don't know what's going on, and people look at you and go like in a state of shock at the way you look because your face is all swollen up. I mean, it just like puffed up instantly. Yeah, that's the reason I said he started growing his own vegetables. He got his own chickens for chicken meat and eggs. And I guess there were certain things that he couldn't feed his chickens or he wouldn't be able to eat them. He'd have to get just certain types of chicken feed, you know, to give them. So there's a lot of stuff out there, you know, that we don't know about. I don't know if he got compensated for that or not. I have no idea. But that's kind of like that Camp Lejeune water contamination thing where people are getting sick. And they're telling everybody that if you lived in Camp Lejeune within certain years, you know, to contact them, that they're eligible for some type of compensation for any health problems they're having. So that's kind of in the line of where he was at. Yeah, I'm sure there's probably something he got, but if he did, he never talked about it. He never said anything about it. And nobody ever asked. But I'm sure he got something out of it. And I'm sure they had to pay his medical bills too. Yeah, you don't know when stuff like that will ever happen, I'll tell you. Yeah, hit the thumbs up. I need all the subscribers and the likes and shares and everything I can get. I'm getting close to 2,000 subscribers, so that's good. I think I've got like 1,600 something as of now. I mean, I'm not getting them real fast, but you know, I'm adding a couple a day or so. So I can't complain about that. And you know, you'll run into the fact where some people will subscribe and then for some reason they'll unsubscribe. I don't know why. And then sometimes as soon as they unsubscribe, I get a new subscriber and I don't know if it's the same person or not. You promised your dogs you're going to take them to the river today, so I guess you're going to go to the river. Well, enjoy the river. Yeah, I feel fortunate because, I check my subscribers every day, and the number always goes up one or two daily, so I can't complain about that. I don't expect to get several hundred subscribers a day. But as long as it keeps going up, that encourages me to keep going. Yeah, have a good time with your dogs, Wilkes County boy. And then you might come back home and do a live video. That sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan to me. I shared to Facebook. Well, thank you for that. Yeah, thanks, Wilkes County boy. Like I said, as long as I go up instead of going down, I'm happy. Oh no, the wind is blowing that hard? Well, you go right ahead. I don't want any of your stuff to get messed up. Well, you're very welcome. I just hope that storm doesn't get too bad. Maybe the wind will calm down as fast as it started blowing. Severe storm warnings. Oh no. Yeah, we either get a bad storm with tornado warnings and hail warnings, or we don't get anything. There's no such thing as just a nice rain shower. Not in Texas, there's not. Yeah, be safe, Slim Twiggy. See you later, Gator. That's what we always said. See you later, Gator. We didn't put the alligator in there. We just said later, Gator. Yeah, there's nothing in between in Texas. It's either 105 or it's 30. I don't think there's hardly anything in between. We either get a downpour or it's dry as a bone. We don't get such a thing as a rain shower every other day or a couple of times a week. It's like it's all this month and then it's nothing for 3 months. In a wild crocodile. Yeah, that's one thing that it took me the hardest to get used to in Texas was the heat, the dry, and the rain pattern. I mean, like I said, you either get it all at one time or nothing. And usually when the rain comes, the tornadoes come, the hail comes, all the danger stuff comes with it. I mean, it got so hot here a couple of weeks ago, for so long without any rain, we literally had electrical storm. That evening you could see and hear the lightning flashing in the sky, and you could hear the thunder, but it was not raining. It didn't rain at all. It was an electrical storm from the heat. Sweet peas are growing like crazy here, so good. I could eat them. I know, my my foot-long beans are growing pretty good, what I've got planted, but my poor sweet peas and the bush beans just succumb to the heat. So I threw a couple of more foot-long bean peas in the ground out or in the pot. And I said I'll just concentrate on trying to keep them growing. And if any of the sweet peas or the bush beans survive, then that's all right too. But it seems like the foot-long beans will survive the best with this Texas heat and the dry, as long as you can keep them watered just a little bit. Yeah, the rain does make it humid and miserable, but I know I planted sweet peas and I love them, and I only got a handful off of them before they burn up with that, over 100-degree temperature and no rain. And then my bush beans, they just burn up, and I was keeping them watered. The only thing that's really surviving is the foot-long beans. Yeah, it's just the electrical storms we have in Texas from the heat. There'll never be any rain with it. It's just an electrical storm. And I'm told it's all caused from the extreme heat we have. Yeah, you have to irrigate. Well, like I said, my problem has been with the water company. We've had a water restriction for almost 2 years now, and I'm getting sick of it. Because I know people that are on the same water company, but they live in different subdivisions. Their subdivision, it does not have a restriction. They can use all the water they want. Other subdivisions that are on the same water company don't really have a restriction, but it's a voluntary thing to conserve water. Whereas the subdivision I'm in and 3 or 4 other subdivisions, it's mandatory that you can only water 1 day a week. You cannot use an outside hose. You cannot use sprinklers. You can't wash your car. I mean, all you can do is fill up a bucket and water with the bucket. But yet if people have the underground irrigation system to keep their plants watered, that's okay. They can run that 24/7. And I don't understand that. They shouldn't be allowed to do that if you can't water your plants any way except with a bucket. I don't know where you'd buy water from. I mean, I'm buying what I've got. That's the bad thing about it. I've got a water bill that you pay every month. That's just like a mandatory fee unless you go over a certain amount of thousands of gallons, which usually I don't. But I pay the water bill every month, but yet they tell me I can't water anything. But it's supposed to be lifted July 31st, so if I can make it through July, I mean, my plants will probably still suffer. But like I said, I've got 2 22-gallon water containers out there. And I've got 12, I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, no, I got 15 5-gallon buckets that I keep compost tea in. So that's what I've been watering my plants with in between the days that I can water with the city water, with my tap water. Because I keep those compost tea buckets full and I water with that. But I hate to even water with the water spigot, even though the hose, even though I could on that day, because there's so many chemicals in the water. The chemicals will burn your plants up. Because they've been using, it seemed like they combined with another water company that no one likes. because it has so many chemicals. So that's added chemicals to our water. So now it's not good to even water your yard with. And you see what I'm drinking. My water's in a bottle. Well, hi, Mrs. Weaver. Hello, how are you? Glad you could join us. But I'm hoping... Well, I just got the message that there was a problem with the server, so I don't know if the video kind of glitched or not. But I lost my chat, and I had to touch retry to get it back. My garden is small, 6 squash plants, 4 tomato plants, 3 cucumber plants, and 3 bell pepper plants, and cantaloupe. And I bet they're doing good, huh? I don't want to get any bigger than I'm at now, because I have a hard time trying to keep it all watered now. But I'm hoping, like I said, I started to say a while ago, I hope whenever they get the water situation straight at the end of the month, that we're not going to have all these chemicals in our water. Because before we had this problem, we had the best water around. You could drink it right out of the spigot, and you didn't smell the chemicals. You didn't taste the chemicals. And now I can go outside just to turn the hose on to fill up a 5-gallon bucket, and if I'm standing over that bucket, the vapors from the water comes up in my face from those chemicals, and it almost takes my breath. That's how strong the chemicals are in that water. Oh no. And see, that's what happened to mine. The combination of the squash bugs, the squash borer things, or whatever they call them, that gets in the stems, and the heat almost killed all of my squash plants. I've got a few left, but some of them look like they're just barely hanging on. And I don't know if it's mostly because of the bugs or the heat. I've been thinking about next time I water them is to go ahead and mix up some more of the insecticide mixture and water them with that. Especially the squash plants. And maybe my cucumbers. The rest of it I think would be okay. Okay, Texas Nana, well, thank you for stopping by. We enjoyed having you. We probably won't be on here much longer anyway. Yeah, I mean, we used to have the best water around. I love the water here, but there's so many chemicals in it right now with them getting part of our water from this other company that I don't even want to drink the water out of the tap. I know, and when I use that Bear product that I used before, the insecticide, I'd water my plants right when I planted them. Or if I planted seed, I would water them after they came up with that insecticide water. Never had a problem with squash bugs. Nothing ever ate up my squash plants. They were fine, they were healthy, they produced like crazy. But ever since they pulled that off the market, and I can't get it anymore, I've had problems with squash bugs. I mean, they just devour my squash plants. I can't have squash plants anymore. And I don't think this insecticide that I got this time works quite as good. Or maybe I didn't mix it strong enough. Maybe if I mix it a little bit stronger, it might do better. So I may do that when I water them again with that insecticide. I may put a little bit more in the water when I mix it. Make it a little bit stronger and see if that'll do better. I know you just about have to start putting that insecticide on your plants the minute you water them to keep those bugs off. I know, and the Bayer used to have the insecticide for your vegetable garden. But from what I understand, they've pulled it off the market for some reason. You can't get it anymore. That's why I switched and got this other. I'm going to have to look at the Bayer product of the fruit trees and see if that is good for vegetable gardens as well. If it is, then I'm going to get the Bayer product the next time. Once in a while, I'll use Miracle-Gro. I think I have put a little bit of Miracle-Gro to my plants since I planted them. I think one time. I mixed it in the water, the compost tea or the water when I watered, and I did water them with a little bit of it. I know that Bayer product is fantastic. And the one they had for your vegetable garden was unbelievable. It worked so well. And I bought it every year, never had bugs in my garden at all. And I can't keep them out of it now. Like this year, in the years past when I planted basil, I never had bugs on my basil. But that one plant I got out here that was growing so good, it's completely eat up with bugs. There's holes in all the leaves. And I've never had that done to my basil before. So I've already ordered a spray that I can spray it with to get, to kill them off. And have it on hand in case it hits my other basil plants. Yeah. Grasshoppers, I haven't seen any grasshoppers here. Now I'm buffering. Maybe it's because I've been on too long. I don't know. Does anybody know how long we've been on here? It says we started about an hour ago, but it doesn't say any more than that on my end. But I started, at 4? And it's after 5. So we've been on for about an hour and a half. Not quite an hour and a half. I finally got my live chat back. It disappeared. I know, and when I was transplanting my basil, when I thought I was videoing it, it smelled so good. I love it. It just smells so wonderful. And I found out a way to freshen up your trash can, your outdoor trash bin. I trimmed up my peppermint plants the other day. And I threw a bunch of the cuttings in the trash bin. And after that, my trash bin smelled really good. So it sure freshened up my trash bin. So if you need to freshen up your trash bin and you got peppermint growing in your yard, just trim a handful of it and throw it in the trash bin. It'll make it smell pretty good. Yeah, time flies when you're having fun. But I guess since we're starting to buffer, I probably need to get off of here pretty soon. I know it's pretty easy to grow, and I don't understand why it's got just full of bugs this year. My leaves on my basil plant is just full of holes. Some little bug is eating holes it looks like lace almost. It's so holy. It's just full of holes. So I got to get something to put on it to keep them off of it. Yeah, and I love fresh basil to cook in any type of recipe. It's just, you can get dried basil, and I use my dried basil because last year I picked a bunch of my basil and I did dry it in my dryer over here, dehydrator. And I kept it stored in my glass jars over the winter. And I've been using it, and it works real good. But there's nothing like going out there picking your fresh basil and putting it right in your pot. It just smells so good. Yeah, I dehydrated 3 jars of basil last year. And I've still got one jar, whole complete jar. And I used one jar of it, and I've still got a little bit in the second jar. Well, I'm sure everybody's got things to do on this Saturday evening, so, and I got to get back out there and do a little bit more in the garden before it gets dark today. Yeah, I enjoy not having to buy squash and zucchini and basil and all that stuff. But my garden, that 113 temperature almost wiped my garden out this year. Especially since I couldn't keep it watered real good. And like I was trying to tell people in the video that I was doing this morning that I've lost, a lot of my pots I didn't redo this year, like replenish the dirt. Usually I do it, I'll break up all the dirt, I'll add compost, I'll add paper, I'll add cardboard, green leaves, stuff like that, and mix it up all down in the bottom and then cover it over. And that kind of brings it back to life, so to speak. Well, a lot of them I didn't do that to. I figured, well, they had enough left from last year. And for the most part, they did, but they drained real well. And therefore, they did not hold the water as good as I wanted them to. So next time I get ready to replant anything, I'm going to redo my soil by adding the cardboard and the paper and the leaves and all that stuff to give it something for the water to stay in the bucket or the tote. Yeah, that's something that would be hard if you grow the stuff and then you can't eat it. Yeah, I love to grow it whether I could eat it or not, but it's so good to me to be able to walk out in the yard and just pick a ripe tomato off the bush and just eat it right then. Especially the little grape tomatoes or the cherry tomatoes. And cucumbers the same way. You have the little muncher cucumbers, they don't get very big. To go out there when you're doing stuff in the garden and just pick one of those little cucumbers and just eat it right then. It's so different than buying one in the store. You do that too, Teresa? Yeah, I didn't really count on it for food, but like last year, I got such a good basil crop. I said, well, I'm not going to let it all go to waste. I'm going to dehydrate it. So that's what I did. I dehydrated all the basil I could. And like I said, I've been using it all winter. But if I don't get rid of the bugs in my garden, I'm not going to have anything. I won't even have basil. Well, I don't want to keep running this video out so long, so I appreciate each and every one of you that showed up. Love each and every one of you. It does my heart good to see that people at least, join in my chats. They comment on my videos. It encourages me to keep going, put it that way. And it makes me feel good. So, being able to enjoy the fruits of your labor, but my family enjoy. Well, as long as if you got a family that enjoy it, that's the next best thing. But see, I'm single here. My son lives an hour and a half away. My daughter lives an hour away the other direction. And usually, if I have anything extra to give, I'm not at a point where I can give it to them. And by the time I go to their house or see them, I don't have that product anymore. So, Teresa, I hope to meet you someday. Well, maybe we can meet someday, Teresa. That'd be pretty awesome. There's a lady that lives over here in, I can't remember the subdivision name, but it's on the other side of town from me. She messaged me and told me, she said, I'm almost your next door neighbor. Maybe we can get together one day. And, you know, since she's right across town, that's possible. You know, I could meet her somewhere someday, or she could come by my garden. I hate anybody to come see my garden right now. It looks terrible. Yeah, it's always good to have a good evening. But I'm going to go ahead and close out, let you people get back to your busy Saturday evening so you can take care of whatever you want to do. And maybe I'll be able to post a real video tomorrow. I don't know. Stranger things have happened, I guess, than making a video and then it disappears on you. Because all I did was turn the button, you know, touch the button to turn the video off or stop recording. And then I went immediately into my file section where it stores my pictures and my videos. And all my older videos and thumbnails were there, but the one I did today was not there. It didn't save it at all. And for the life of me, I do not know why. Yeah, I need to go fishing. It's been too hot to go, and I've been wanting to go. But I said, if it's going to be cooler days coming up this week, I'm definitely going to go fishing. I got that heart over part of my chat, and I can't read. There it is. We need to go fishing. I can bring my sister along. Yeah, that'd be good. Just have to pick a day when it's not going to be so hot. Okay, Teresa, we'll chat later. Have a good evening. And I'm going to go ahead and end the video. I'm going to go ahead and close out. Please tell everyone to like, share, subscribe to my videos. Y'all have a blessed evening. And we'll see you on the next one, hopefully tomorrow. Bye now. Have a good evening.